Hello everyone, this is Tony. Welcome back to Trophy Travel Experiences. Today I want to give you the insider's guide to Whistler Cornucopia. So just by way of background, Whistler is known as a ski resort in the province of British Columbia. A lot of people know about this. It's also now getting very famous for its summer activities, biking, hiking. But in the kind of the soft season or shoulder season, there's not a lot going on in October and November. And so Whistler has done something really great. They've actually put on this Whistler Cornucopia, which now lasts for 2 weeks. So it's a food and wine event, generally in November. The nice thing is that you get it in a period where rooms aren't that expensive. It's not as crowded, but it's not really terrible weather. So it's kind of the shoulder season. It's not when you have a lot of snow yet. So you can still drive up there. It's very scenic and it's a little bit quieter. So it's actually quite a nice thing. During the week when you're up at Whistler Cornucopia, most of the events are concentrated on the weekend. There are events on the weekdays, but generally in the nighttime. But you'll find a lot of restaurants there have lots of specials during the week. Because it is shoulder season, like 3 courses for $49, 3 courses for $59. And these are really great restaurants like Araxi, like Barefeet Bistro, Il Caminetto. And so normally these would be very, very expensive restaurants. So I think it's a nice place, nice time to go and visit Whistler. So going back to Whistler Cornucopia, it's a 2-week event. And I was so thrilled to go up there this year. It's my first time up there, and boy, have I been missing out. Because first of all, you have to travel a little bit out of city. If the same event was in Vancouver, it would cost maybe double or triple the amount. So you're getting a lot of value, and then you're also getting pretty decent prices in terms of the hotel stays. You're talking about probably $200 to $400 a night for depending on what type of accommodation you're getting. And that would be much lower than you would have in the summer or the winter months. So what I want to break down is the Whistler Cornucopia and kind of give you an insider's guide to it. So Whistler Cornucopia has generally 4 types of events. So the first type of event is really what they call the culinary stage. It's put on in the Whistler Convention Center. And what happens at that event is that you get a chef of note who goes and cooks for you and explains different dishes. Generally, there's about 4 dishes. And while they're demonstrating on a stage, there are other chefs in the back that are actually preparing the food. So you get to see the chef prepare the food. And then likewise, when she or he is finished preparing it, then the food comes out. And so the nice thing about this is that you actually learn a little bit about cooking. So for those people that like to do cooking, you learn a lot about techniques. And then for those of us who like eating, you get to eat the food. It's generally paired with wines. And the wines are very simple. It's like 2 to 3 ounces. So it's not a lot. But it's a really nice seminar, especially for those people who are not exclusively into wine. In fact, you could actually go to these seminars, these culinary stage events, without even drinking the wine. You can pass on the wine if you like. I was fortunate enough to go to one held by Chef Alana Mass, who won a show in Chopped Canada. And then the person that was pairing the wines was a sommelier that I knew called Samantha Rand. So really interesting, great event. Takes about an hour and a half, but they're generally about 4 every weekend. And so you can really make a weekend out of that. The second type of event is the wine seminar. So these are strictly to learn about wines. And these are very familiar for people who go to wine festivals. These are the type of seminars. And again, because it's at Whistler, I think you have a more relaxed atmosphere, and it's also, I think, more affordable, and it's not sold out to the max. If you have these type of events in Vancouver, you have huge crowds, lots of people, and you have to buy them much earlier, and it's more expensive. At Whistler, it's a smaller group, and generally speaking, a little bit less expensive. So I was at one of them. It was a very interesting seminar on wines from the Loire Valley, put on by a person that I know called Paul Watkin, who's very knowledgeable, very relaxed. We went through 9 wines of the region of Loire, learned a lot. Again, the pours are not huge. They're about 2 ounces per. But that's, with 9 wines, that's pretty sufficient. In addition to wine seminars, I saw one on Cabernet Sauvignon wines. I saw some on BC wines, obviously. But they have other ones to do with spirits. So I think I saw an event to do with Scotch and other spirits. So it's kind of interesting. And for those people who like different beverages and you want to learn, this is a great opportunity. The third type of kind of activity at Cornucopia is wine dinners. So these are wine experiences, and these are traditional wine dinners. And I love that you can go to really nice restaurants in Whistler and try them out with a pairing of wines. I think a lot of them were BC wineries, and that's kind of a specialty, of course, if you're in Whistler and you want to try some BC wines. I was fortunate enough to go to one at Araxi restaurant, which is one of the top restaurants in Whistler, and the winery was Tin Horn Creek, and Tin Horn Creek is a well-noted BC winery. So about, I think, $280 a person, not particularly expensive for the quality. So I think it was like 6 courses and a lot of wine. So I really enjoyed that. And again, this would be very familiar to people who do wine festivals. The last type of event is what they call the signature events. So those of you who are familiar with wine festivals, these would be those events that are the traditional wine tasting festivals where there's a lot of wineries that you go around and sample their wines. They have those, but they have a variety of events. They have some that include different spirits like beers and other types of cocktails. And then they also have one at the last day called the Barefoot Bistro World Oyster Invitational and Bloody Caesar Battle. So that's kind of the event. I don't think these are as good for learning purposes. So if you're looking to learn about cooking or wine or spirits, I think the culinary stage and the wine seminars are better for learning. I think the wine dinners have a good mix in terms of the fun and the educational part. I think these type of signature events are really fun. So I wouldn't go there with the same expectation. These are great if you have a bunch of people go. At these type of signature events, I think a lot of people go with their friends. So again, it's kind of a more happy atmosphere. And so I think if you're going with a bunch of people, these are the type of events that you would go to. Very fun. And lots of activity. I think the food is minimal, so there is food but not a lot of food, so you might want to eat beforehand. There's music playing, and because it's a larger event, there's going to be lineups. So that's why I think it's a better function for groups, because if you're with a group and you're lining up, it's not that long. It's, you just chatting with people. In addition to this, there are also specials, packages. So there are different tickets that are packaged with hotels. And so I was fortunate to stay at the Fairmont Chateau Whistler. I really think that is a really great hotel for the purposes of Whistler Cornucopia. Why? Because it's central. It's in the upper village, so it's kind of in the village area. You could potentially walk to everything. They have some events at the Chateau Whistler. But a lot of the events, including the Whistler Convention Center, are in the lower village, but you can walk to there easily with about 15-minute walk. In addition, the Fairmont provides both courtesy car and shuttle services, so you don't have to walk to the events. And so I think it's an opportune place to stay while you're there, because it's a nice place. It's got nice facilities, but you can get to the events fairly quickly. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I really encourage you to try the Whistler Cornucopia next year. Once they have details, I'll put this on this site because I really encourage people to go. Those people especially go to festivals in Vancouver. It's actually, I think this is a very nice deal because it's a little bit out of the city, but it's still easy to get to. But once you have that little distance from the city, it also alleviates the crowds and you get a little break. So for the same quality of thing, I think you'd pay much more if it was a festival within Vancouver. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, safe travels.